Missed an episode of your favorite podcast? Choose from over a decade of content in our archives, not just the latest episode. All free at gcnlive.com.
This is your call to action. Get prepared, America. Economy, survival, energy, disasters. This is USAPrepares.com. Informative radio, educational radio. Interact now by emailing instructor@USAPrepares.com or text at 434-390-7953. Class, please take your seats. Now, your instructor, Vincent Finelli.
Watch the greenbacks tumble.
Everyone all set? Cocked? Locked? Here we go. Your dial set correctly to USAPrepares.com. And we're delighted to be broadcasting from high atop the Missouri Ozark Mountains. There's a link to your instructors on the website, USAPREPARES.com. Matt is engineering the broadcast. I'm Vincent Finelli. Dr. Richard Allen Miller's with us. Welcome, Rick.
Good morning, Vincent. Good morning.
Good morning, Rick.
Yeah, everybody around me is dropping like flies with the flu. Adele got sick yesterday. Julie, my girlfriend, has been sick for 2 weeks. I'm still the rock, but it's a crud going around, some weird virus.
Well, I'm hearing people around me are dropping like flies, but they're not getting back up.
Yeah,
seriously.
It's like a 2-weeker, like down for the count.
I actually mean down for the count. I mean they're actually dying. People are actually dying.
What?
I'm talking to friends and instructors who are part of the broadcast, and they're telling me that their friends are dying. They're people who were in the Gulf War, people who were in Vietnam, the Vietnam conflict. A lot of us are dying, and it's really sad. I mean, some really great minds and great individuals are dying. So that's what I'm hearing around me.
Well,
so it's very sad.
There is a new malarial bacteria out there that is resistant to the normal dressing medications. That's creepy. So,
it is creepy.
Yeah, the whole thing is unknown. There are so many things going on. It's hard to know what to stay focused on and not be distracted.
Yeah, Rick, it's snowing here. It's 20 degrees and it's snowing.
It's snowing. It was 65 degrees here yesterday.
Yeah, that's
crazy.
Well, it's snowing in chemically engineered Missouri, where
chemically engineered. That's probably the truth of it.
Well, it is. It's chemically engineered, chemically controlled. This is the place where our politicians are easily identified by their oppressive egos, their fat wallets, their microscopic testicles. Those societal misfits. Huh? Well, those societal misfits.
Yeah. I think
and
that
parasites,
there's something
they feed
else
off
going
us.
on. I have heard that there is no chemtrails down in L.A. for the last couple of weeks. Beautiful, clear skies. We had clear skies 2 days ago. It was unbelievable. It was a beautiful, felt like spring day. It was warm, 65 degrees, blue sky, nothing fuzzy in the air. And then the next day, they were laying them down. And now I've heard the planes are actually coming out of Canada. They're not even American.
Yeah, and that's why I said that our politicians have microscopic testicles. And if they were actually brave, and if they were actually representing our interests, they would stop this nonsense. They would declare our airspace.
They may not be able to, like that woman in Colorado that was that senator said out publicly, there's nothing we can do about it because it isn't us.
I don't believe that, Rick. I mean, I hear what you're saying, Rick, but I don't believe that.
When the government closes down, there's no money to run anything. They actually spend money to hold the war memorials closed for vets on wheelchairs. They spend money to do that. And I look up in the sky, and they're still laying down chemtrails at $100,000 an hour. Now, who is paying for that?
Rick, let's say I took my remote control airplane, if I had one. I don't have one, but if I did, and I fired that thing up, and let's say I got pretty proficient with it, and I took it to Washington, D.C., and I took off from the sidewalk, and I just kind of flew it over the White House. How long do you think that thing would stay in the air?
Yeah. How long do you think you'd be allowed to do that? You know, they radio.
Absolutely. They'd locate me. I'd be standing there with the controls in my hand and bullets in my chest. But what I'm saying, Rick, is if our states wanted to stop this stuff, they would say, you can't fly. You cannot fly. And then the feds might say, yeah, but you took our money. And we'd say, okay, well, come get your trinkets. Come get your trinkets. Get them out of here. We don't want them. We don't want your chemtrails. We don't want your disease. We don't want your poison. And we don't want your death and destruction spread over Missouri. Get out of here. And if you show up, we'll start shooting. I mean, why don't they do that? Why doesn't the state of Missouri grow a set?
Being run by transnational corporations. Businesses that are bigger than our country. And they have vested interests, and they have conflict of interest. And they're at war with each other. It's all about greed. And we, the United States, has become a third world country where we have no say in a lot of these things.
You're right, Rick. Last Monday, we were talking about small companies that were tool and die companies in the United States. And we used to have lots of them all over the place where they would make the tools so that other companies could use those tools and manufacture products. When was the last time you saw a startup tool and die manufacturer in the United States? I can't think of one.
No
the only thing I can think of is
everything comes from Asia. There is no, what did they call it, gross national product? There's no pride in producing. It used to be American agriculture was the best buy there was. When it got taken over by transnational corporations like Monsanto, where they started growing economy of scale and trying to create cheapest, it was the death knell for the quality of per dollar spent. What do you get for your buck? And right now, yesterday, I'm guessing there are like 7 basic manufacturers making iPads, whatever, and then there's 20 or 30 private labelers that put their own name on it. And you no longer have the option of cheapest and or best buy. Whatever happened to Craftsman? Whatever happened,
Rick,
high standard. The, Sears and Roebuck concept of being able to sell a very expensive rifle cheaper doesn't happen anymore. The whole concept of marketing has completely changed because of transnational corporations that produce everything. And the war that everybody's experiencing in the money part has to do with China at $2 an hour, and now IMAXI has just increased their wage up to $9 an hour. That was in the news this morning. Minimum wage is the place where it started. And China, there's no way we can compete with that. So we don't.
Rick, you're talking about quality and Sears and Roebuck and company.
Yeah, it's all changed.
Well, that's
it's
exactly
not the same. Craftsman, Snap-on used to be a brand name that you would pay more money for, but you got a better drop board. And what's happened today is that that's no longer the case. Everything comes from China. When I say China, I actually mean Asia. China runs it, but it's mostly Asia. Now, at some point, everything from China is going to begin to increase. That's how they're going to play it. And the ports, closing the West Coast ports, that was the start of a game or dance that's going on between the ruble and the American dollar. And we're in the middle of a war zone, and we're collateral damage. As a country, we are no longer America. We are something else.
Rick, I was talking to a college student yesterday, and I was telling him that we had this Sony brand Blu-ray player, and I really like it because what I can do is I can go to the PC in the kitchen, and I can go to youtube.com/pair, and then find something that I'd like to watch on the television screen in the kitchen, and listen to it through the audio of a vintage stereo system, so I can watch on the screen the YouTube video, listen to it where everyone in the kitchen can hear the YouTube video, and it failed. It would not connect to the internet. So I traced the cables down, and I did all the things to prove that it was not the internet connection going to this Sony Blu-ray player. And what I determined was the Blu-ray player works fine with a disc, but it does not work with the internet connection. So the internet connection component or feature or circuitry failed. And I was telling this college student about this, and he said, yeah, he has an Xbox, and they last a long time. It's been going for over 2 years. And I'm thinking, 2 years, this stuff should last 20 years, right? So we have now in our mindset that electronics only last a couple years.
Computers well, that's how they do Microsoft with their different platforms, and why XP is no longer supported. It goes on and on like that. It's all about marketing. It has nothing to do with quality or advancement of service.
Well, I happen to like XP, and we run this broadcast. We run this broadcast on Windows XP and Linux. And I really like the Linux. It's absolutely stable. It really works well. XP works really well for, in most instances. And I resent the fact that we are forced to upgrade to thinner, cheaper, less durable, but more features. I resent the fact that we're forced to do it by companies that are as greedy as Microsoft, where you can get Linux for free, absolutely for free. Why not consider Linux? Dr. Richard Allen Miller, and I'll be right back. We have a special seminar for you on Friday, March 27th at the Get Prepared Expo, from 9 in the morning until 4 in the afternoon. Spend the day with USA Prepare's senior instructors, Matt Stein and Dr. Richard Allen Miller. There you'll learn about the 3 major game over events and their likelihood, and most importantly, what to do about them. Events so powerful that they can end life as we know it. Yes, they're real, and our senior instructors will guide you to safety. This seminar is limited to the first 100 who purchase tickets on the website, getpreparedexpo.com. Your tuition for this special seminar is $85. Your satisfaction is guaranteed, or your money back. This is an in-depth, all-day seminar, and you're encouraged to take notes. Note-taking materials are provided. Food and beverages are available all day at the Get Prepared Expo, Lebanon, Missouri. GetPreparedExpo.com. GetPreparedExpo.com.
Hi, this is Steve Spillum for Midas Resources. In 1971, President Nixon took the United States off the gold standard and put us into a fiat currency. This allowed Congress and the Federal Reserve to create trillions of dollars out of thin air. The national debt has risen to incredible heights, and your hard-earned dollars by a small fraction of what they once did. The average life expectancy for a fiat currency is 27 years. The dollar is failing and on borrowed time. When currencies fall, people turn to gold and silver because gold and silver have been real money for more than 5,000 years. It is our mission at Midas Resources to help you preserve your capital. Don't let your personal savings shrink to nothing. For important free information on how you can protect your personal wealth, contact me, Steve Spillum, at 1-800-686-2237, extension 308. Call today while we are still accepting dollars for gold and silver. 1-800-686-2237, extension 308. Make a change in your financial security today. That's 1-800-686-2237, extension 308.
What good is a Big Berkey water filter?
We get that question a lot here at BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. And in a word, the answer is protection. Protection from water main breaks, E. coli contamination, environmental chemical spills, pesticide runoff, chlorine taste and smell, and all forms of fluoride. Plus, Big Berkey water filters are the original gravity water filter system and most trusted on the market for a reason. Tested by multiple independent NSF EPA certified labs, they are the gold standard in water purification. At only 1.7 cents a gallon, a single set of filters can last for 5 to 10 years. That means big savings. Big Berkey, the one that's powerful enough to purify stagnant pond water. Get a Big Berkey today at BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. GCN listeners receive 5% off all ceramic filter systems. Visit our website or call 1-877-99-BERKEY. That's 877-99-BERKEY. Big Berkey Water Filters, for the love of clean water.
The human body is extraordinary. Despite all the stresses we inflict upon it, it still works hard to stay in balance. Thousands upon thousands of people rely upon Heart and Body Extract to help their body stay balanced. This excellent 100% natural herbal formula helps maintain healthy blood pressure levels, cleans arteries, promotes good circulation, balances cholesterol, and more. HB Extract, paired with healthy lifestyle choices like good nutrition and exercise, can give you a life free of pain, sickness, and fear. Recapture your youthful vitality and experience your body healing itself with the aid of HB Extract. It's extremely effective and it starts working in just days. Visit hbextract.com to learn more and to read scores of testimonials from satisfied customers. And we've never increased our price in over 10 years. That makes Heart and Body Extract as great a value now as it was the first day we sold it. A healthy heart is a happy heart. Call 866-295-5305 or go to hbextract.com.
Dr. Richard Allen Miller's with us, and we're talking about electronics. And Rick, you know, here's something interesting about electronics. Here's something that I've noticed. This particular Sony device that I'm talking about was connected to an internet cable, and that Cat5e cable runs through the walls and ultimately goes to a network switch. And we have several network switches at the farmhouse. But we had a lightning storm. And what I noticed was that the Blu-ray player failed after this lightning storm. So I'm not necessarily blaming the Sony Blu-ray player for not working on the internet side of the device. What I am saying is that lightning can take out our electronics because we have these wires, these Ethernet cables attached to them. And those Ethernet cables can act as antennas and pick those electromagnetic wavelengths out of the air, send them right to the device, and have it blow the device. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, you have surge devices, you know, supposedly for electrostatic. That's what you're talking about with lightning is frequency bands that are in the electrostatic range. And the problem is, you know, it's high end. If it isn't grounded correctly, and most things aren't, you know, with a literal hole going in the ground with a big wire attached to it, so you're literally grounding things. Of course, things are going to blow up. You've got electrostatic fields that are, you know, 90,000 volts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and in our case, Rick, we have surge protect. We have. Let me explain how it goes. In our house, we have the electric feed from the utility. It goes into a transfer switch, which goes right into right at the transfer switch location. We have a whole building surge protection device. It's massive, and then it goes into a sub panel or into a main panel. From the main panel, it goes to sub panels, and each sub panel has a surge protection device for that entire sub panel. So now, for this electromagnetic pulse to hop onto the Blu-ray player, it would have to go through two whole house surge protectors. And so from the power side, it was grounded. But what I'm saying is the internet side, it was not, because we have the Ethernet cable running through the walls to get to this Blu-ray player. And that acts as maybe 100-foot long antenna coming from the Ethernet switch. So that's what I believe took out the Blu-ray players.
Everything that we have today has been under-designed purposefully for need to be replaced situation. Mopar started with automobiles. That's one of the reasons I collect my 280Z. I love the fact that it's made with real steel. I remember when Bethlehem Steel used to have pride in the quality of their different kinds of steel qualities. Today, I can only guess what we're getting from Europe and China mostly. It's creepy. And I had a friend that was in a major automobile accident where her car was hit at 40 miles an hour sideways, and she walked away without a scratch because of the design was a twin outrigger frame on it. Today, a small bump causes a twist in the frame so that everything wears out. And it's purposefully designed that way for obsolescence, for recurring purchase of things like automobiles and washing machines.
It's interesting you're talking about washing machines, and I was thinking about that before the broadcast this morning, that we have several washing machines here. And each one, we're down to our last spare. Or actually we have no more spares. And every one of them has failed except for one. And it literally costs as much to have a service guy come out and fix a small problem with one of these washing machines as it would cost to buy a used one complete with every single part. It's amazing to me. And we have forgotten how to fix things in this country, and I suggest that we start learning how to fix everything as quickly as possible so that we can maintain what we have when the lights go out. Dr. Richard Allen Miller, and I'll be right back. Okay, class, who wants to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? All spiders have 8 legs, but do the hairy ones have the most meat? Is it true grasshopper legs taste like chicken? Which bugs have the most protein? Which are best served dried and which are best eaten while still alive? Which bugs are the most dangerous for your children to eat? Do you like the sound of this? We don't either, so you'll have to go to a government-sponsored expo for cooking with bugs. The Get Prepared Expo has so many great seminars, we had to cross the poorly attended ones off our list, like the Red Cross, FEMA, the U.S. Department of Agriculture, the Department of Education, the Internal Revenue Service, the American Cancer Society, CERT, and Homeland Security. We can't help everyone, just the really bright people, the top 1% of thinkers and doers, like you. The rest, the other 99% who don't think and don't do, well, the government's standing ready to help them. The Get Prepared Expo, the last weekend in March. For details, visit getpreparedexpo.com.
Are you hungry for delicious, nutritious, rich, and satisfying home-cooked meals? Discover the Vita Clay 4-in-1 Smart Organic Cooker. Unglazed Zisha clay, an ancient secret that makes this fast multi-cooker so special. Infusing your food with incredible flavors, perfect texture, vitamins, and minerals for your good health. It's a slow cooker, rice cooker, a steamer, plus a yogurt maker. Go to VitaClayChef.com and enter promo code RADIO20 for 20% off at checkout. That's VitaClayChef.com.
It's no secret that government and big business buy in bulk and get huge discounts not available to the little guy. Until now. Introducing a breakthrough crowd buying website where people can join together, buy in bulk, and get massive discounts on millions of popular products. It's TogetherSave.com. TogetherSave.com. You can save 20, 30, or even 50% off tablets, smartphones, cars, appliances, textbooks, sports equipment, video games, and much more. All with free delivery. Check it out. TogetherSave.com. Visit now and start group buying today at TogetherSave.com.
If the IRS has garnished your paycheck or seized money from your bank account, you need to get professional tax help now. Fast action is required to put a halt to these aggressive IRS collection tactics. You can count on the knowledgeable team of tax professionals at Wall & Associates. With over 30 years of experience, Wall & Associates has settled the tax problems of thousands of taxpayers for a small fraction of what they owed. For a free face-to-face consultation, call 1-800-425-4610 to put a wall between you and the IRS. 1-800-425-4610 or look for us on the web at wallandassociates.net. We solve tax problems. If you hire Walland Associates today, you'll never have to talk to the IRS again. To stop the levies and seizures today, take action now. Call Walland Associates at 1-800-425-4610. Wall and Associates. 1-800-425-4610. Based on actual cases, results may vary, not a solicitation for legal services.
I'm Vincent Finelli of USAPrepares.com. As most of you know, I broadcast weekday mornings on GCN from 9 to 11. And I'm also a full-time farmer. Add to that mix the weekly meetups and the Get Prepared Expo, and this combination makes for a demanding schedule. On the farm, we raise grass-fed Black Angus cattle and provide them with the best variety of summer and fall grasses available. Our cattle are exposed to the extremes of weather, the toxins in the air, and the electromagnetic radiation that's all around us. So even the best grasses and food that we provide are not enough. Our cattle require minerals and supplements for strong health and resistance to disease. And so do we. For these reasons, my mother, our children, Mrs. Finelli, and I all take Longevity, Beyond Tangy Tangerine, De-Stress, Glucogel, and EFA+. USAPreparesTeam.com. And thank you for being in class today.
This alert just came in. This special announcement is for business owners and leaders of organizations who've been waiting for the right time to build. General Steel has made it impossible to wait any longer with rock-bottom prices that could save you thousands. That's right, General Steel, America's leader in pre-engineered structures, is offering buildings at prices you will never see again. Don't miss these prices. A 50 by 100 for $35,000. You heard right. That's 5,000 square feet for $35,000. Manufacturers, if you need a larger building, try a 100 by 100 commercial building for $129,000. You can't afford to rent with these prices. Imagine a 70 by 100-foot church building for under $69,000. With the economy improving and interest rates still at historic lows, you can't afford to wait. So call 866-91-STEEL. Lock in your price now. Call 866-91-STEEL. That's 866-917-8335.
Dr. Richard Allen Miller's with us, the real Fox Mulder of the X-Files, and he'll be at the Get Prepared Expo the last weekend in March, about a month from now. So if you'd like to meet Dr. Richard Allen Miller and attend his seminars, you certainly may. And if you're fortunate and get to his table for some of the banquet dinners, we have 2 banquet dinners and a banquet lunch. Wouldn't that be fun, having dinner or lunch with Dr. Richard Allen Miller? It's possible. And the banquet dinner tickets are $10.80. Yes, that's correct. $10.80. We want to make sure that that you have a great time and you don't spend a lot of money. You know, Rick, I was thinking about earth batteries, and I was reading about them on the internet. I haven't constructed one myself, but it all makes a lot of sense to me. And what the articles that I've read and the YouTube videos that I've watched are saying is you take 2 dissimilar metals, like iron and zinc, or copper and iron, or just 2 metals that are not the same, and you drive these, we'll call them rods or plates, into the ground, and if the ground is moist, you will be able to measure an electric current. And so if you have just 2 dissimilar plates or rods, and let's say you put them a foot apart, and you attach a voltmeter across those 2 rods, you will be able to measure a current and maybe power a device, depending on the voltage and current that you're able to derive. And some metals will yield a higher current than others, but the idea is the soil needs to be moist. And the best way to orient these rods would be north and south. So I'm thinking that, you know, we have this metal roof on our barn, and water drips off it, condenses at night off the cold surface, and it drips down off the edge of the steel roof, the galvanized roof, and the soil right outside or along the drip edge is moist. I think I could drive these rods into the ground and derive a current from them and hook it up in series so they have these cells, these earth battery cells, hook them up in series and run LED lighting. And I wouldn't have to worry about literally the typical definition of a battery, like a lead acid battery storing the current. It would be available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Rain, snow, no sun, dark, doesn't matter. It's there 24 hours a day, all the time. What do you think?
Well, that's all about structured water. It is about the water touching something foreign and what happens next. And so, obviously, when we had solid-state physics, we put two dissimilar rare earths together, gallium and arsenic, and that created a computer chip. And water is even way, way more efficient by 6 zeros. By the way, speaking of zeros, I'd like and would be remiss if I did not mention there is a new leak at Fukushima that has not actually made national news yet. It is 3 zeros more in terms of 7,000% more increased radiation leakage as of 2 days ago. 7,000%. There's 3 zeros right there. This is unbelievable. Why is nobody talking about this?
You're talking about the mainstream media, Rick.
Yeah.
The
fact that Fukushima continues to be a serious problem. I was on Jeff Rentz the other day talking about the acidification of our ocean. And basically, what that's about is carbon dioxide, from emissions causing the oceans to move from an 8.4 to an 8.1 pH. It's still alkaline, but they say it's acidification because it's moving toward the neutral. And all of this stuff is scare tactics trying to take your eye off the ball of what's really happening. I can't prove that it's radiation from Fukushima, but I can tell you there are a bunch of anomalies now occurring, including weather, that all could be directly related to that nuclear accident that the military protocols are now calling an extinction event. If it continues like it is, it's only going to get worse. And it can't get any worse because right now the children in Tokyo, there is a 48% thyroid anomaly in children in Tokyo today. That's almost half the children. Why is there no reporting? Why is there a gag order? Why is nobody continually questioning what the Yakuza and the cleanup people are not doing?
Rick, I was talking with someone who's familiar with the Yakuza, and there was I really have to be careful how I say this. There was an area that was supplying water to one of the large cities in Japan. And there was an excavation where there was some, we'll call it mining, that was done there. Left this hole in the ground. Think of it like a quarry. And the mob was hired to move trash out of the city. So they moved it to this excavation area. And it was left there, and these are really toxic chemicals. And all of the people who were involved in the moving of these chemicals to this area died as a result of it. This area is higher than Tokyo. And as the rain falls on this area, the chemicals leach out of the area and run downhill into the waterways that supply water to Tokyo. It's being covered up. Everyone involved is dead. So I'm putting an exclamation point on exactly what you're saying.
So basically, there is no due diligence. there is no oversight, and there is no news media coverage. And all we're doing now is, shooting down reporters that may or not have exaggerated their war things, in the early 80s. What was that? 30 years ago? This is crazy, the way the media is being used to control the masses. And now, I don't think any of us, including me, I know I don't know what's going on. I know that. And I know that I may never know. How does that work? History being rewritten by the victors is the way they used to put it. And did the Nazi war actually win in a draw? What is Israel right now? Zionist. What is a Zionist to be distinguished differently than a Jew? What's the difference between it and the Talmud? And I have to tell you, it almost feels like it's being run by Nazis. And when I say that, I don't mean disrespect. It's just the cold disrespect of Gaza and what's going on over there. And we're not even being told that. ISIS, what do you think ISIS is? Probably the CIA and the Mossad trying to manipulate a war that I don't want to fight, that is unnecessary but good for business. The whole thing, again, comes back to this concept of transnational corporations running everything on a higher plane than governments and countries. And we're collateral damage right now. And if you think you're in a bad way right now, watch what happens this year toward the end of the year. I don't know about the ruble. I don't know about gold. I just know where I am and the way my, CenturyLink, the people that I use my cable with, talk about high-handed. Yesterday, I just moved. I started my service on the 15th of January, and they charged me $300 and some odd for hookup, and I was going to dispute it. And yesterday, as I went on the internet to dispute this and pay my bill, they turned my service off. Now, I had no way to call them. I had no way to get my internet. I couldn't do a phone interview like this with you right now because they wanted $361 for 1 month. And they held me at hijack. And I was ready to walk away and go to Dish, which I still might. I don't even have a choice where I live. And so this is across the board. It isn't just about CenturyLink. It's about all of it. And especially in the communications end with AT&T and Verizon. They're all a bunch of thugs. There is no such thing as customer service. It used to be customer service was there to do damage control and try to help you get your service back up. Not anymore. It's strictly about money. And I'm not authorized to return your service until you pay your bill. How about I pay a portion of my bill so that I can negotiate this? Can't do it, sir, our policy. Let me speak to your supervisor. What happens next is I'm disconnected. And here I am on a track phone in the middle of traffic, downtown Grants Pass where I have coverage. I didn't even have coverage with my track phone out where I live. I'm stuck. And do you think they care? Do you think they're going to have someone call and apologize and try to make me feel better about it? They don't really care.
They're not authorized to care, Rick.
That is exactly correct. And the worst part is, the people that do those jobs have, like the Peter Principle, taken those kinds of positions because they like to inflict pain. It isn't they're trying to do a good job.
You're absolutely correct. And I'll put an exclamation point on that when we come back. Dr. Richard Allen Miller's with us. I'm Vin Finelli. This is USA Prepares. And Rick is hot. He's hot because there's nobody to call. There's nobody to help. And it's everywhere. It's not just with CenturyLink. It's everywhere. Just try calling the police for help. If you do, someone's going to go to jail or someone's going to get killed. We'll be right back. What's so special about the Get Prepared Expo? Imagine having the opportunity to learn from some of the best preparedness and survival instructors available today. The faculty of USAPrepares.com. Imagine meeting your radio instructors all in one place. The last weekend in March. Imagine having lunch or dinner at a table with your instructors. And the cost? $10.80. Imagine having your favorite instructors autographing and personalizing your new books. Imagine buying Berkey water filters at deep discounts, the lowest price in the country. Imagine buying freeze-dried long-term storage food at the lowest price in the country. You don't have to imagine. This is real. It's at the Get Prepared Expo, the biggest and best preparedness expo there is, March 27, 28, and 29 in Lebanon, Missouri. One-day tickets are $8 on the website, getpreparedexpo.com. Getpreparedexpo.com.
By now, you may have heard a bit about Bitcoins, but did you know Bitcoins are now over an $8.5 billion market? And did you know that over 65,000 businesses now accept Bitcoins? Listen, if you're already earning Bitcoins or trying to make money in the Bitcoin market, you've got to know bidbit.co. Why? Because bidbit.co is where you can easily receive Bitcoins by selling and auctioning off your own personal items or promote business products and services for Bitcoins. You heard right. Whether personal or business, you can now buy, sell, and auction your product and services quickly, easily, and securely for Bitcoin at bidbit.co, the first and only marketplace website to offer BidBit Escrow, a proprietary technology which gives buyers and sellers security and peace of mind because all transactions are protected. Start today. It's free to join, free to post, free to auction, and free to bid at bidbit.co. Buy, sell, bid, or auction everything Bitcoin. That's www.bidbit.co, bidbit.co.
Most people know that drinking pure high alkaline pH water is the most important factor in maintaining high energy and vibrant health. Most experts agree that the water you drink should be at a pH level of 8 or higher. AlkaVision Plasma pH drops combine a unique formula of the most alkaline minerals. Using plasma pH drops is the best way to make your water alkaline to help you get rid of acid and regain your health and energy. Simply put 10 drops in the water you drink to raise the pH to a healthy level. Alkalizing water helps your body rid itself of acidic waste and increases the oxygen content of your body. Disease organisms like bacteria, viruses, and cancer cannot survive in an alkaline high pH environment. Order your bottle of AlkaVision Plasma pH drops now by going directly to alkavision.com. That's ALKA Vision.com. Or call 269-409-1776. 269-409-1776 today.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-855-905-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. Sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99, and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows. Pause and rewind live TV. Even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $19.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV. Say goodbye to the cable guy. Cut costs and get more. 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV.
You pick up the receiver with your heart racing and sweat dripping from your forehead. You finally muster the courage to dial the number to call into your favorite talk radio show. It rings once, twice, and then...
Hello, it's GCN. What's your name and the state you're calling from?
Surprised you got through, you squeak out.
Jason from Minnesota.
Please hold.
As you patiently wait for your turn, you begin to daydream about being a famous talk radio host and what it would be like to have your own show.
Jason from Minnesota, you're up.
Millions of loyal listeners worldwide waiting to call and talk to you.
Caller, are you there?
Cheering crowds surround you, calling out your name.
Jason! Jason!
Going once, twice. Okay, we gotta move on to the next caller.
You blew it.
Huh? Wait, no!
Interact with the host you're listening to right now, online at GCNlive.com. Click on the community link. Engage with other listeners. Ask questions. Start debates. Don't agree with the host? Let them know. Be a part of the community at GCNlive.com.
So, Rick, we've got CenturyLink here at the farm, and they picked up on the old infrastructure that was put in place by a company called Contel, C-O-N-T-E-L. All of the communications cabling in this neck of the woods, where I am in Missouri, is underground, which is really kind of nice. However, we have a creek that runs through our property, and the creek runs right across the road. And so what CenturyLink has been doing for years is they just bury the cable in the creek. Well, eventually the rocks slide, the freezing, the thawing, and the cables, the outer jacket fails, and the cables start leaking and corroding, and the signal quality goes down, and we lose our internet, and we're at the beginning of the road, so everybody 5 miles down the road loses their connections as well. Well, it's really frustrating here because we have no choice. There is no alternative. I can't call another company and say, you know what, I'm sick of CenturyTel or CenturyLink, same organization, and I'd like to switch. There's no place to switch to except satellite. That's the only alternative. And that really won't work very well for me broadcasting, because there's a delay of 22,000 miles each way to the satellite and then back again. So there's a delay, and so that won't work for broadcasting. But here's what I have found, and this does work. So for our broadcast class, if you have a CenturyLink or CenturyTel service, I have found that if you call them and you say, you know what, I'm paying too much. I don't want to pay this much. May I speak with a customer retention representative? They'll transfer you, and that person's job is to keep you as a customer. When we were in the banking business, it used to cost us about $45 to get a new credit card account. So to get a new customer through advertising and all the things that we had to do, it would cost us $45 per account. It probably costs the phone companies about the same to get an account. So they really don't want to lose you as long as you're paying your bill. So I would suggest that you consider calling your telephone provider and say, I would like to pay less, or I'll have to cancel. And you can say that as if you mean it. And at the last minute, if it doesn't work, which I've never seen it not work, you can always change your mind and say, I'll keep your lousy service. But you can ask them for a reduction. And I have never seen less than a $10 per month for an entire year rate reduction. I've never seen it for less than that. And when we used to have television back in the 90s, it worked for Dish too, and DirecTV. So I suggest you call all of your providers and tell them that you would like to pay less. Just call and ask for customer retention, and be very nice and polite and say, I'd like to continue, but it's getting so expensive now that I'm having trouble justifying.
Here's the problem expense. I had. The problem I had is that CenturyLink is not in Grants Pass. And when they turned me off, I was 10 days over my due date for paying my bill. I was only 10 days overdue. They turned me off. I had no way to communicate to them. I have no way to communicate in any way to anybody. I was stuck out here. Now, isn't there a law about 911 and emergencies and things like that where they have to at least give you warning? Well, I'm considering a lawsuit just for a drill.
Wouldn't that be fun? Dr. Richard Allen Miller's with us. I'm Vin Finelli. This is USAPrepares.com. When we get back, I've got some physics questions for Dr. Richard Allen Miller, the real Fox Mulder of the X-Files. Rick's pretty hot today, and, more and more of us are losing our patience with the system. There's nobody to call. There's literally nobody to call. There's a guy in Missouri who was being tased while he was on the phone with 911. Tased by whom? A cop. So who do you call? Do you call the cops and say, hey, listen, a cop is tasing me? It's not working, is it?
Attention listeners, SurvivalLife.com is giving away free EverStrike permanent matches for a limited time only. These matches are waterproof and will light in any weather condition, rain, snow, or sleet. It will still throw a spark. Its built-in ferro rod strikes at 3,000 degrees, and it is good for 15,000 strikes. Normally, $15. Today, it's free. Get yours at freesurvivalmatch.com. That's freesurvivalmatch.com. Hurry, supplies are limited. Visit freesurvivalmatch.com today.
Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Sling bow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug-out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of sling bow. A new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
For over 5 years, you've been hearing about the Berkey guy, so you may know a few things about him. For example, you are well aware of the superior quality and effectiveness of Berkey water filters and accessories. But did you know the Berkeys have had independent lab tests done to prove just how effective they are? It's true, and he can email you the test results. Just visit GoBerkey.com. You may also know that the Berkey guy has helped tens of thousands of people get better prepared. Now here's something you may not know. GoBerkey.com has amazing specials and deals all the time on a wide variety of survival and preparedness products. Most ready to ship same day. Visit the Berkey guy at GoBerkey.com and be sure to click the red Products on Sale Now button. You can always call toll-free 877-886-3653. Again, that's 877-886-3653. GoBerkey.com, home of the Berkey guy.
Catch the bright side on the future of talk radio. GCN.
This alert just came in. This special announcement is for business owners and leaders of organizations who've been waiting for the right time to build. General Steel has made it impossible to wait any longer with rock-bottom prices that could save you thousands. That's right, General Steel, America's leader in pre-engineered structures, is offering buildings at prices you will never see again. Don't miss these prices. A 50 by 100 for $35,000. You heard right. That's 5,000 square feet for $35,000. Manufacturers, if you need a larger building, try a 100 by 100 commercial building for $129,000. You can't afford to rent with these prices. Imagine a 70 by 100 foot church building for under $69,000. With the economy improving and interest rates still at historic lows, you can't afford to wait. So call 866-91-STEEL. Lock in your price now. Call 866-91-STEEL. That's 866-917-8335.
Everyone all set? Cocked, locked, hour number 2 of USAPrepares.com. Dr. Richard Allen Miller is with us. Rick, I was thinking about Wi-Fi, and I was thinking about Wi-Fi in the classroom and the physics associated with it. So here's a thumbnail calculation I did during the break. So if a wireless computer transmits its signal to the access point at 50 milliwatts, that's 51 thousandths of a watt, or 5/100ths of a watt. And you've got 30 of these devices in a classroom, like a computer lab type room. That's 30 times 5/100ths of a watt, or 150 100ths of a watt, or 1.5 watts. So in that classroom, if my calculations are correct, we are exposing our children to 1.5 watts of radiated power in the microwave band for all the time that they're in that computer lab.
Well,
now, the computer lab teacher is probably
towers outside moving everybody else's classroom's information around. And by the time you figure it all out, you're toast.
Wow. Well, that's where I'm going with this.
There it is in a nutshell. It gets weirder from there because the exposure to microwave band radiation, of which, newsflash, there is LD50 ratios. There's parts in your body that do not like that radiation and will actually metastasize, will form tumor and other things by exposure. You can, with just a cell phone, get a heat signature off the brain in less than 1 minute's use. Now, you tell me how safe those things are. That's why I use speakerphone. Period. End of story. I've had criticisms with Coast to Coast and others because I refuse to put electronics up next to my brain. I won't do it. Beal, B-E-A-L, is a doctor, he's electrical whiz out of Florida. Dr. Beal is writing on the dosimetry of electromagnetic radiation. And our exposure ratio, just in microwave band, has increased almost 70 times in the last 5 years. And you just look at all the radiation towers around you. You know, when I was visiting you, they were jumping it down the straight. I remember seeing the tower, and we come down another 10 miles. There's another tower as a line of sight kind of transmission. And of course, guess who's in line of sight? Everybody. And while I just sent you how to protect yourself from an EMP strike with a Faraday cage, you have no idea. The calculations I'm seeing right now are there will be a period probably in the year 2017. We had a kill shot off the sun last week that if it had been aimed at Earth, the Earth would have been back in the Stone Age. Never even made national news. Went off in the opposite direction. It was worse than the Carrington effect. My calculations are that if we have an anomaly like that, you're going to need 8 feet of dirt, earth, between you and the sun for a maximum of approximately 2 weeks when it goes through its burp. And you have no way to hide. I don't think everybody gets it, that just because you can't see something doesn't mean it isn't toxic. You know, cyanide gases, it comes to mind. And when I tell you about these kinds of things, the nuclear power plants that are all leaking right now, what do you think it's going to do to those regions in terms of your water table, your drinking water, and your ability to clean it? We're in a world of hurt, and we're not paying attention, and what's happening next is that all of this is being regulated by transnational corporations that do not care about the fact that there are too many people on Earth. Right now, just one reading I did said that 30% of America is going to, at some point, this is Navy predictions, 30% of the United States is going to die because of radiation from Fukushima. Now, whether or not that happens, you know, I'm telling you right out, it was, according to our algorithms, an extinction event and being mishandled with no oversight by Yakuza. Now, these people, when it's too late and everybody has moved on, like the Emperor of Japan is no longer accountable because he's dead, what are you going to do? I don't have answers. What I do have are a lot of questions, and so, and the problem is, for someone like me, I don't have the money to build a little sustainable lifeboat. I'd love to do that. It will, again, involve me, probably, having to interface with people I'm not sure I even want to work with. So here I am, not knowing what to do. We have technology now that will allow us to reproduce that machine shop you were talking about with 3D printers. Mm-hmm. Now, that requires at least a knowledge base, even if it isn't the internet. And what are they trying to do today? They're trying to take that control over as well. Slow it down, regulate it.
You're absolutely right, and I don't have the details. No one has the details because the FCC won't release them. They won't even be interviewed by Congress. And the problem that I see is they could literally make it illegal to do what we do.
Well, they already are. They already are doing that. Now, I just posted another one about the fact that, you got two wolves and a lamb, and that's what liberty is. Democrats and Republicans are wolves, and liberty is a lamb that's possibly armed and dangerous. Now, we have some options here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where we're going to go with all of this, but I do know that it isn't anywhere that I had deemed as where, isn't this an exciting future? We have an opportunity. We can rewrite the book. Mm-hmm. The problem is, how are we going to do it without money?
Rick, yesterday, Norm Shealy and I were talking about this man who spent 6 hours a day on his mobile phone, and his name is Ian Phillips. He's 43, and he said he had a blinding headache, and the post is on the website, USA Prepares. He drove himself to the hospital, and he was diagnosed with a grade 3 brain tumor next to his right ear. And he underwent the surgery, and he's going for treatments, and he's got a 3-year life expectancy now. And he did it because his multinational corporation required him to be on the phone about 6 hours a day. Now he uses the same kind of device that I use when I use a cell phone, which is a 1970s style handset that plugs right into the phone jack of my iPhone. And I have a 3-foot or 4-foot extension cord added to that, so I can keep the phone about 7 feet away from me. And if you think about it, class, you're probably within 7 feet of people anyway who are using their phones all around you. We were in Sam's Club last night, Mrs. Finelli and I, and just about everybody is pushing their carts on the phone. They're not even paying attention to what they're doing. Either they're so ignorant of why they went to Sam's Club that they have to call somebody to say, oh, what am I doing here at Sam's Club? What was I supposed to get? I forget. I mean, it's either that or they're so distracted by their cell phones or they can't get away from them. But I think Mrs. Finelli and I were just probably two of the people who were at Sam's Club who didn't have an attachment to our cell phone as we were stuck in our ear as we were buying the things that we wanted to get for our farm. I'm really concerned about the wireless electromagnetic radiation. So this guy 6 hours a day on his cell phone believes he has gotten brain cancer as a result. And that's why I did not allow somehow I was able to get away with it, Rick. Back when I was a computer consultant, I would not allow the installation.
Well, I instinctively realized that electromagnetic fields pass through your body without anything at all except for certain organs, and they absorb it. And when they absorb it, changes the cell structure. And there you are. There you have it.
Well, Rick, we've got John from Nixa. John Dollarhite, welcome.
Hey, Ben, and I've got an update for you. I've been in court all morning on that speeding ticket that I supposedly got about 2 years ago when we were doing that event down in Branson.
Yep.
And I had food poisoning, and I was trying to find a place to pull over because I was so sick. Well, the Branson PD pulled me over. Instead of being there to help me, they were threatening to take me to jail. So I've been fighting this, and this case came back up after 14 months. And so I wrote him a letter asking for a dismissal, because a motion to dismiss because it's been over 14 months, and that it was in violation of my the Sixth Amendment constitutional rights, and it was against the statute of limitations of 6 months. And the judge I was very happy with the judge. I mean, I think he was, he led me a little bit there. He did tell me that he was going to deny my motion because I didn't have it quite right. He says I was close, He says, without a couple other little things in there, he says, he couldn't dismiss that way. So the prosecutor did offer me an imposition of sentence, basically as totally, I walk away. Well, there's got a break there.
Yeah, hold your thought, John Dollarhide. John Dollarhide, this is minor compared to some of the things you've faced in the past. You faced a $6 million fine from the U.S. Department of Agriculture. This is just a little nit, but I know you don't give up and you just don't let these guys run you over. Please hold and we'll stay with John Dollarhide and Dr. Richard Allen Miller through this break, and we'll be right back. Some of you might be wondering, just what is the Get Prepared Expo? The Get Prepared Expo is designed to help everyone survive tornadoes, snowstorms, ice storms, earthquakes, and God forbid, a real terrorist attack. Are you ready? Have you thought through all the scenarios? At the Get Prepared Expo, you'll meet exhibitors who will help you prepare and survive and learn what you need. Included in your all-day passes are 1-hour seminars on water filtration, cooking and heating without electricity, wood, or any kind of fuel, the all-important survival garden, and growing food with heirloom seeds, radiation detection and radiation survival. There are over 60 seminars at the Get Prepared Expo. Think of it as a college preparedness degree in a weekend. Get Prepared Expos are taught by preparedness leaders, authors, medical doctors, and radio personalities. Bring your questions. We have the answers. We hope to see you the last weekend in March. Lebanon, Missouri. GetPreparedExpo.com. GetPreparedExpo.com.
On the average, Americans work between 45 to 50 years, hoping to build up enough wealth to retire and live out their golden years. Unfortunately, with taxation, the rising cost of food, energy, housing, and medical, many retirees are forced to live below the poverty line. Is this a flaw free enterprise, or is our monetary unit we call the Federal Reserve Note forcing us into perpetual debt, ensuring inflation and higher taxes? These questions and more can be answered by reading G. Edward Griffin's book, The Creature from Jekyll Island. Congressman Ron Paul states it's what every American needs to know about central bank power. A gripping adventure into the secret world of international banking cartel. Hi, this is Ted Anderson. I will give a silver dollar from the early 1900s to anyone who purchases this book. Call 1-800-686-2237 and order a copy today. It's critical that the public be made aware of the system. Call and order your copy today at 1-800-686-2237. That's 1-800-686-2237.
Did you know that drinking pure, high-alkaline water is one of the most important factors in maintaining high energy and vibrant health? Most experts agree that the water you drink should be at a pH level of 8 or higher. AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops, available only at alkavision.com, combine a unique formula of only the most alkaline minerals. AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops alkalize your water, ridding the body of harmful toxins, and helps you regain health and energy. Alkalizing your water by simply adding 10 drops of AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops helps the body rid itself of acidic waste, increases oxygen content, and raises the pH of your body to healthy levels. And bacteria and viruses cannot survive in an alkaline high pH environment. Order your bottle of AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops for only $29.95 at alkavision.com. That's ALKAvision.com. Or call 269-409-1776. 269-409-1776. Alkalize your body. Supercharge your health at alkavision.com today.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-855-905-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. Sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99, and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows. Pause and rewind live TV. Even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $19.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV. Say goodbye to the cable guy. Cut costs and get more. 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV.
Class Dr. Richard Allen Miller is with us. RichardAllenMiller.com. Richard, A-L-A-N Miller.com. The Real Fox Mulder of the X-Files. And you can purchase his books on the website, RichardAllenMiller.com. John Dollarhide's with us. And after 14 months, he had his day in court. So, John Dollarhide, please tell us the rest of the story.
Actually, it's been a total of 22 months. I've spent 14 months since the last I've been in court. But while I was before I was facing 90 days in jail, between $2,000 to $5,000 in fines and court fees is what I was facing for a infraction. Infraction is a speeding by 5 mile an hour over the speed limit is an infraction. And so that's what I was facing. And so the judge did make the prosecutor go out and try to talk with me again. And so I went out there. I did promise the judge. Well, the judge had already picked up that me and the prosecutor had been at odds pretty heavily. Matter of fact, the prosecutor got very, very mouthy in court, and towards me, and I did reflect back, and I should not have raised my voice, but I did bark back at the prosecutor. Had a deputy got behind me, and a deputy got behind the prosecutor, and the judge told us both to shut up, or he'd find us both in contempt. And so I said I'm sorry to the judge, and I let him speak. He did say that my dismissal wasn't quite good enough, but he said it was a good job for being a pro se. So we did go through it. He did request that the prosecutor go outside and talk to me, and I did promise the judge that I would keep my mouth shut and I would let the prosecutor talk to me. And so I did, and the prosecutor wanted to do a imposition of sentence, which is for 6 months. So if I don't have any speeding tickets or any other violations, that it goes away with no fine. However, there is a court cost. So I wanted to verify court costs, and I went to the county clerk, talked to them. So I went before the judge, and we did discuss that, and I did tell him that I would accept it. Now, I'd already talked to my wife just moments prior, and she says, no, take it all the way to a jury trial. You're not paying a penny. Well, I rolled the dice, and I thought that I was going to have to leave there with $116 being fleeced from me. But the judge smiled at me, and he says, I think you've done it. He says, I think I can help you here. And he gave me a disposition of the court fees. So I walked away with no fines. The only thing I have is 6 months probation, basically. As long as I don't get a speeding ticket, it will fall away. So I feel this is a huge win. So you got to be persistent. You got to be willing to take off work. You got to be willing to tell them no. I had already told the judge, I don't care if you find me guilty, I will appeal it. If I'm found guilty in appeal, I will fight it again. I am not paying this fine. So I was up front. I told him I wasn't going to, and I rolled the dice, thinking they're still gonna, want me to extort me for $116. But the judge, he did fine for me, and I appreciate that he did.
You should mention. That's a really good judge being a judge. That's why they're there. They're supposed to make reasonable decisions when there's conflict like that. You're lucky. You got a good
class.
I'd one that was being a real judge.
When you come to the Get Prepared Expo, you get a chance to meet John Dollarhite. He's a wonderful guy. You're gonna love him. And if you come to the meetups, this is the kind of stuff we talk about at the meetups. So we've been following this situation with the speeding ticket, which the cops should have said, heck, you look sick as a dog. Do you want me to get you an ambulance? No, that's not what happened. Unbelievable. Yeah. Absolutely unbelievable, these out of control cops and the problems that they cause. But John Dollarhite, you and your wife literally faced a $6.19 million fine for raising and selling rabbits in the state of Missouri, correct?
That is correct. And, there's a very powerful word that we all have, and we have the right to use it. It's just called N-O. No. You tell them no, they don't know what to do because you have to give them permission. And if you're telling them no, they have difficulty.
Maybe that's the single word that best describes those of us who are affiliated with USA Prepares. We say no far more than the average guy does. We really do. John, do you have some more to tell us?
No, I'm good. I'll continue to listen. Thank you.
Hey, John, thanks so much for the update. That's John Dollarhide, Dollar Value Computers in Nixon, Missouri. A special seminar for you on Friday, March 27th at the Get Prepared Expo from 9 in the morning until 4 in the afternoon. Spend the day with USA Prepare's senior instructors, Matt Stein and Dr. Richard Allen Miller. There you'll learn about the 3 major game over events and their likelihood, and most importantly, what to do about them. Events so powerful that they can end life as we know it. Yes, they're real, and our senior instructors will guide you to safety. This seminar is limited to the first 100 who purchase tickets on the website, getpreparedexpo.com. Your tuition for this special seminar is $85. Your satisfaction is guaranteed or your money back. This is an in-depth all-day seminar, and you're encouraged to take notes. Note-taking materials are provided. Food and beverages are available all day at the Get Prepared Expo, Lebanon, Missouri. GetPreparedExpo.com. GetPreparedExpo.com.
By now, you may have heard a bit about Bitcoins, but did you know Bitcoins are now over an $8.5 billion market? And did you know that over 65,000 businesses now accept Bitcoins? Listen, if you're already earning Bitcoins or trying to make money in the Bitcoin market, you've got to know BidBit.co. Why? Because BidBit.co is where you can easily receive Bitcoins by selling and auctioning off your own personal items or promote business products and services for Bitcoins. You heard right. Whether personal or business, you can now buy, sell, and auction your product and services quickly, easily, and securely for Bitcoin at BidBit.co, the first and only marketplace website to offer BidBit Escrow, a proprietary technology which gives buyers and sellers security and peace of mind because all transactions are protected. Start today. It's free to join, free to post, free to auction, and free to bid at BidBit.co. Buy, sell, bid, or auction everything Bitcoin. That's www.bidbit.co. BidBit.co.
I'm Vincent Finelli of USAPrepares.com. As most of you know, I broadcast weekday mornings on GCN from 9 to 11. And I'm also a full-time farmer. Add to that mix the weekly meetups and the Get Prepared Expo, and this combination makes for a demanding schedule. On the farm, we raise grass-fed Black Angus cattle and provide them with the best variety of summer and fall grasses available. Our cattle are exposed to the extremes of weather, the toxins in the air, and the electromagnetic radiation that's all around us. So even the best grasses and food that we provide are not enough. Our cattle require minerals and supplements for strong health and resistance to disease. And so do we. For these reasons, my mother, our children, Mrs. Finelli, and I all take Longevity Beyond Tangy Tangerine, De-Stress, Glucogel, and EFA+. USAPreparesTeam.com. And thank you for being in class today.
The Genesis Communications Network is one of America's premier broadcasters of captivating talk radio. We thank you for listening. Now, just imagine, there are thousands of people who are just as passionate about radio as you are. But what you may not realize is how easy and affordable it is to advertise with us. Radio commercials for your business could be heard on hundreds of radio stations across the U.S. every day. We can help you by creating an effective radio advertising campaign for your company. From script writing to producing your commercial, just like the one you're listening to right now. No other network provides the level of customer service we do. When it comes to radio advertising, we are your one-stop shop. And no matter how big or small your business is, we can help. Email us at advertise@gcnlive.com, and an experienced advertising executive will help you take the first step towards driving more customers to your business or website. Advertise@gcnlive.com. Easy, affordable, effective.
We all know that Berkey Water Purification Systems are the most trusted name in water filtration. As an authorized Berkey dealer for over 6 years and serving thousands of satisfied customers, the Berkey Guy offers amazing specials for Berkey water filtration systems. The Berkey Light systems include a set of self-sterilizing and recleanable black purification elements that purify water by removing chlorine, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, and parasites to non-detectable levels and remove harmful chemicals such as herbicides and pesticides. Order the Berkey Light system today, complete with 2 black Berkey elements for only $231, and the Berkey Guy will ship your order free of charge. With the purchase of a Berkey Light, the Berkey Guy is also offering a set of fluoride and arsenic filters for only $39.99. That's over 30% off the retail price. Call the Berkey Guy at 1-877-886-3653. That's 1-877-886-3653. Or order online at GoBerkey.com. That's GoBerkey.com today.
Class Dr. Richard Allen Miller's with us, and just on the phone calling in was John Dollarhite of Dollar Value Computers in Nixon, Missouri. He's a USAPrepares.com instructor, and he and his wife, as I mentioned, had been threatened by the USDA with a $6.19 million fine for raising and selling pet rabbits here in Missouri. And, these guys, the USDA descended upon the Dollarhite family and really gave them a lot of grief. But, the Dollarhites did not back down. They did not back down, and they prevailed. And it was, it took a while to prevail. And just like what you heard John Dollarhite say, he told the judge that he's not going to pay the fine. And it kind of sounds like, this is conjecture on my part, but it kind of sounds like the judge decided that, you know what? This guy's costing us a lot of money. We could be threatening other people, and we could be extorting money from other people, and he's just taking up court time, and it doesn't look like we're going to get anything out of him. So let's go on to another sucker. I think that's that's my my take on what might have happened in this particular case with John Dollarhite. And Judy Dollarhite, his wife, wrote the book on going down the multi-million-dollar rabbit hole, and it's the story of what happened. And she and I have discussed her seminars at the Get Prepared Expo, and I asked her to share. She's going to be talking about water and water purification and water purification systems, and what you need to know about them. So that'll be Judy Dollarhite.
Vincent.
Yeah.
I want to know why the DA was trying to press when, in fact, what he should be doing is going after real criminals. What the mess is going on here? And
well, Rick, let me give you an example. I was driving a white SUV that we had given to our daughter. We bought it used it for a while. She needed a vehicle. We gave it to her, and after about 5 years, she returned it to us. And I had that vehicle with out-of-state tags here in Missouri. It had Virginia tags on it. And I was driving in the fog up a hill, in a rain, fog, dark day. And, it was getting dark. And I was going up this long hill, and coming down the hill were 3 vehicles. At the top of the hill was a cop. And I went past the cop, and next thing I know, I'm pulled over, license and registration. He gave me a speeding ticket for 74 miles an hour in a 55. And I said, okay, I got your name. I got your badge number. I've got your information right here. I'll see you in court. But until then, I just want to tell you, you got the wrong guy. I wasn't speeding, and I'm not going to let this go. As a matter of fact, I'm going to mention your name every day on the radio. Every day I'm going to talk about you and what you're doing. And by the way, why are you on private property with your lights out sniping at the top of a hill on private property? Why are you sniping with your radar gun? And he said, well, it's policy. I said, whose policy? He said, well, the sergeant. I said, great. What's his name? And I said, I'm going to talk about him too. So why are you out not protecting and serving? Why are you hiding with your lights off? I'm going to talk about you guys and what you're up to. And you know what? It's going on about 3 years now, and my ticket has never surfaced. Now, I let him know exactly what John Dollarhite said. He's not going to give up, and he's going to expose this corruption. Now, do you think that John Dollarhite has not told people about this story? You think that he kept it quiet? He went on national radio and told the story. He's been at the meetups. He's telling people that are interested in knowing about the corruption. He's not going to give up.
You can't chase all the windmills. Don Quixote.
No, but
fights. And the problem is, I couldn't fight CenturyLink. I was they had me, they knew it, and they took full advantage.
Okay, Rick, I'm going to say something I shouldn't say. Many years ago, I was in California, and we decided that we didn't know if we were going to stay in California. We'd started a company back in the 1980s, and we were working day and night at this telecommunications manufacturing company that we owned. Came back late at night, and all the parking spaces were used in the parking in the complex, the apartment complex. So I had to park in the back by the dumpsters. So I parked my car back there. We walked way far to get to our apartment. And next morning, Monday morning, my car was gone. So I went to the front office there and I said, "Hey, my car's gone." They said, "Well, maybe it's where you parked it. Was it, by the dumpsters?" I said, "Yeah." And they said, "Okay, well, it was towed last night." Who towed it? Finally, I got the information. I called the towing company. And they said it's in North San Jose. And so I went there, and it wasn't there. And that guy said, "Well, it's in South San Jose." So I went to that lot. It wasn't there. And he said, "Well, probably in East San Jose." So I went there. Now, this is like a long time going across the city in rush hour. And finally, I called the guy, and I said, "Where's my car?" And he said, "Well, I don't know." I said, "I'll tell you what. I know where you are. And I'm going to call you back in 2 minutes from this payphone," because I had to use a payphone to call him. And I said, "If you don't tell me where my car is, when I call you back, I'm going to drive my car through your front window." And there was a silence. And he said, "Well, I don't know where it is." He said, "The boss knows." And I said, "If your building was on fire right now, would you be able to reach your boss?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Okay, I'm going to drive my car right through your front window if you don't tell me where my car is." So I called him back, and he told me where the car was. And I went there, and it was in this 6-foot-high chain link fence, concertina wire on it. And so I said to the owner, I said, "I'd like to get my car." And he said, "It's $60. And I said, "Okay, let me get you a check." He said, "Cash." I said, "Oh, okay, all right." So I went to my car, and the one I drove over, and I got my briefcase out, and I opened my briefcase, and there was a Browning automatic. And I said, "Now, who do you want me to make this check out to?" Now, here's the point. I never brandished that firearm. But what I was trying to say is, I'm furious. You guys are running me ragged, and I had just about reached the end of my rope. And I negotiated very calmly with this guy, and he thought, "Man, oh man, this really isn't worth it. I guess I'll take this check." But I never threatened him. I never pulled my gun. It just happened to be that that's where I carried my firearm. And it was perfectly legal for me to do this. Well, here's what's happening in America. We have lost our patience and lost our tempers because we are put in boxes that there's no way to get out of. Right? What was I supposed to do? I didn't happen to have $60 in cash for the theft of my car. They had me by the throat. I was willing to compromise and make it semi-convenient, but there were certain limitations. Just like these cops that pull us over and tase us and beat us, and I've asked the question. I've asked the question many times of many people. Why hasn't the Agent Orange acted up on some of our Vietnam veterans? Why hasn't it acted up? Why is it that we haven't read stories about these guys losing their temper and going off and doing things that most people wouldn't do to take back our country? Why is it? Well, I keep asking that question. I'm not advocating a civil war. I'm just wondering how come How come people just haven't gotten really frustrated the way you have with your CenturyLink problem?
Oh, the CenturyLink thing gets even better. I talked with a handler or whatever they are, just a normal, she isn't English, she's probably Filipino, and she was willing to take $99 that she said there was no way they could turn my service back on so I could negotiate from my home. And so what she said, I'll take $99, and I said, let me talk to your supervisor. The supervisor then said, yes, we'll take $99, but you have to go through finance. And so they put me on to finance. Finance changed that and said $261. I ended up hanging up on him because I refused to do it. He didn't care. He had me. Yeah. He knew there was nothing I could do. I was stuck in downtown traffic on the side of a road working with my track phone. And I'm not going to forget this. I am going to speak on national radio about CenturyLink. And I want everybody to understand I had to go through the same thing with AT&T. I ended up in Dallas, Texas, talking to the executive vice president, and she said, quote, there's nothing I can do about it. I had to pay Rick, 3 months. What's that?
You're going to go on national radio and talk about this?
I am doing it.
You already are.
Yeah,
you already are.
Saying it out. I said it. I was going to make everybody aware of the fact that communications, Verizon, CenturyLink, Charter, Comcast, whatever, are thugs. They have absolutely no patience for the individual. None of their services are real, and they have you because of communications. And now they're going to try to regulate our internet access before we even have a right to vote on it.
Yeah.
Now, you can't tell me that that is not transnational corporations that are bigger than our country.
Yeah, well, and
those companies that are 40 times, they have cash flow 40 times that of the gross national product of America.
Hey, Rick, if I'm not mistaken, you sound hot.
I got it, it's all a bunch of fun.
Hey, well, here's what we do. Class, all of you call CenturyLink and all these other companies and tell them you want a rate reduction. That's one way to get even. We'll be right back. Okay, class, who wants to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? All spiders have 8 legs, but do the hairy ones have the most meat? Is it true grasshopper legs taste like chicken? Which bugs have the most protein? Which are best served dried and which are best eaten while still alive? Which bugs are the most dangerous for your children to eat? Do you like the sound of this? We don't either, so you'll have to go to a government-sponsored expo for cooking with bugs. The Get Prepared Expo has so many great seminars, we had to cross the poorly attended ones off our list, like the Red Cross, FEMA, the U.S. Department of Agriculture, the Department of Education, the Internal Revenue Service, the American Cancer Society, CERT, and Homeland Security. We can't help everyone, just the really bright people, the top 1% of thinkers and doers, like you. The rest, the other 99% who don't think and don't do, well, the government's standing ready to help them. The Get Prepared Expo, the last weekend in March. For details, visit getpreparedexpo.com.
Are you hungry for delicious, nutritious, rich, and satisfying home-cooked meals? Discover the Vita Clay 4-in-1 Smart Organic Cooker. Unglazed Zisha clay, an ancient secret that makes this fast multi-cooker so special, infusing your food with incredible flavors, perfect texture, vitamins, and minerals for your good health. It's a slow cooker, rice cooker, a steamer, plus a yogurt maker. Go to VitaClayChef.com and enter promo code RADIO20 for 20% off at checkout. That's VitaClayChef.com.
Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Slingbow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of Slingbow, a new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
What good is a big Berkey water filter? We get that question a lot here at BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. And in a word, the answer is protection. Protection from water main breaks, E. coli contamination, environmental chemical spills, pesticide runoff, chlorine taste and smell, and all forms of fluoride. Plus, Big Berkey water filters are the original gravity water filter system and most trusted on the market for a reason. Tested by multiple independent NSF EPA certified labs, they are the gold standard in water purification. At only 1.7 cents a gallon, a single set of filters can last for 5 to 10 years. That means big savings. Big Berkey, the one that's powerful enough to purify stagnant pond water. Get a Big Berkey today at BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. GCN listeners receive 5% off all ceramic filter systems. Visit our website or call 1-877-99-BERKEY. That's 877-99-BERKEY. Big Berkey Water Filters, for the love of clean water.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
Extendovite is a 7-herb heart protection cocktail designed to support cardiovascular health, blood pressure, and cholesterol levels. February is Heart Month, and we at Heart Drop 2000 are having our Heart Month sale with prices from 6 years ago. Starting now until February 28th, you can purchase a 4-month supply of either capsules or liquid for only $125, including shipping and handling, to help you help yourself. So call now to take advantage of this one-time offer. To order, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822. Or visit our website at heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
If the IRS has garnished your paycheck or seized money from your bank account, you need to get professional tax help now. Fast action is required to put a halt to these aggressive IRS collection tactics. You can count on the knowledgeable team of tax professionals at Wall & Associates. With over 30 years of experience, Wall & Associates has settled the tax problems of thousands of taxpayers for a small fraction of what they owed. For a free face-to-face consultation, call 1-800-425-4610 to put a wall between you and the IRS. 1-800-425-4610 or look for us on the web at wallandassociates.net. We solve tax problems. If you hire Wall & Associates today, you'll never have to talk to the IRS again. To stop the levies and seizures today, take action now. Call Wall & Associates at 1-800-425-4610. Wall & Associates. 1-800-425-4610. Based on actual cases, results may vary, not a solicitation for legal services.
Class, I am all excited because I have here at the farm a ProPure water filtration system. It arrived yesterday. And I'm doing a side-by-side comparison with other water filtration systems. And I am really excited about what I saw when I opened the box. So I've got it set up in the kitchen, and I'm going to do my own independent study of the ProPure water filtration system. And I want to tell you, initial reaction, I really like it. Now, if it's everything I think it is, I will be ordering a couple pallets of these, and we'll have them at the Get Prepared Expo. And we will be selling them at the lowest price in the country. What do you think about that? So if you're coming to the expo and you want to buy a water filtration system, our plan is to have them at the absolute lowest price in the country. Not by a couple dollars, but by a lot. And those who have bought them everyone has said, wow, I've never seen a water filtration system priced this low. And that's what everyone says when they come to the Get Prepared Expo. I cannot tell you the price. I have agreed that I would not share the price on air. But you will see it, and feel free to call if I don't if what I'm saying is not true. Make sure you call after the expo and say, hey, Vinny, you didn't do what you said. I'll put you on the air, but that won't happen. Mark in Philadelphia, you're on with Dr. Richard Allen Miller and me, Vin Finelli. Welcome.
Hello, Vincent. Hello, Richard. I know something's up when our cosmic elder is, who's usually filled with all kinds of levity and optimism, when he gets real serious on us, something's up. This whole deal about corporatism has taken over, and the reason why I've been upset lately about this it has to do with corporatism, Vincent.
Yeah.
Corporatism
I know it does.
Has compromised, and it seeks to compromise every single one of us. What happened in the court? Why does the judge act like he does? Although this one acted a little bit better, but the prosecutor kept wanting to push it. Why do police and Sparta do what they do? It's called corporatism. It's called judicial extortion. Okay, because they can force us into a corner and extract and squeeze us for everything we got and steal everything we got. So back to how did this happen? Back to the deal about the circuitry we were talking about, grounding. Without a ground, a good ground, a circuit will not work. Without a good ground, a battery will not store energy. Another analogy for a battery might be memory. Memory. Have we not lost the idea of who we really are as human beings? I think we have. I think most people, I grew up in there in southern Missouri, small family business, grew up on the farm, so I knew what having your own kind of business kind of scenario that was. And when corporatism, when I had to go out to the working world separate from that, and I didn't like corporations. You know why? Nobody's responsible. Nobody's answerable. Everybody's a yes man. And I'm sorry.
There's a friend of mine in New Jersey that I would love to introduce you to and see what blossoms out of that. This guy has a bunker. He was a Wall Streeter, and he went into setting up a sustainable lifeboat. And I would love to introduce you to him, because I think you two would be some interesting chemistry.
So the deal is, Vince, if you can't say no, our yeses don't mean a damn thing. Where's the people's resolve? Have we lost our humanity? The corporatism is taking over, and it's going to engulf and it's going to eat up every small business. It's going to want to steal our property and put us in a corner. I
have never been spoken to by customer service like this ever in my entire life, and it brought home just how fragile we are right now.
Yeah, and think about Taser International. Who are the shareholders? Why would anybody want to own shares of stock in a torture company? Why would anybody want to do that? Seriously, why don't you consider dumping your Taser International stock if you don't like the idea of supporting a torture company? Mark from Philadelphia, you've got some excellent points. I hear the anger in your voice. By the way, I've received calls from as far away as Europe talking about the tone. People realize how upset you are with the system. From Europe, Mark. Dr. Richard Allen Miller, thanks so much for being with us, class. Above all, honesty and integrity. What happens next?
This is Dan Pilla. Do you owe the IRS money you can't pay? Are tax debts crippling you? I've defended people from the IRS for over 30 years. I've helped thousands, and I can help you too. I wrote the book on IRS settlement, and I'm telling you, there's no such thing as a hopeless case. Call 800-34-NO-TAX to finally get free of IRS debt. With the IRS's new programs, there's never been a better time to solve your problem. Call 800-34-NO-TAX. That's 800-34-NO-TAX, or my website, danpilla.com.
It's happening again. The feds are trying to ban your freedom to own body armor. In January, a newly introduced bill, H.R. 378, will take away your right to buy Level 3 and higher body armor. Katie Armor offers the most affordable Level 3 body armor packages on the market today. Protect yourself. Buy your body armor now before it's too late. Go to katiearmor.com. That's CATI armor.com. Come and take it.
The human body is extraordinary. Despite all the stresses we inflict upon it, it still works hard to stay in balance. Thousands upon thousands of people rely upon Heart and Body Extract to help their body stay balanced. This excellent 100% natural herbal formula helps maintain healthy blood pressure levels, cleans arteries, promotes good circulation, balances cholesterol, and more. HB Extract, paired with healthy lifestyle choices like good nutrition and exercise, can give you a life free of pain, sickness, and fear. Recapture your youthful vitality and experience your body healing itself with the aid of HB HB Extract. It's extremely effective and it starts working in just days. Visit hbextract.com to learn more and to read scores of testimonials from satisfied customers. And we've never increased our price in over 10 years. That makes Heart and Body Extract as great a value now as it was the first day we sold it. A healthy heart is a happy heart. Call 866-295-5305 or go to hbextract.com.